Yo, what it Dooski, Teddy Brewski, what's the deal, Shaquille O'Neal? What's the word, Larry Bird? It's your boy Reaction, man. We back with another one, man. And yo, listen, we've been trying to change the narrative, and we doing it. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, most importantly, and comment, man. Get down in there and comment, man. You know, we're on the road to 5K, 10K, then we're gonna spike it up to 50K. That's it. You know. But this story here, the stage is set. This man got allegedly over 35 kills. They call him 4-5. I'm gonna just let him tell his own story. Reaction. Check it out.
All right, to 4-5. Where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
Well, I was born and raised in Fort Lauderdale. My father was from North Carolina. My mom was from Georgia. And I was raised in Lauderdale.
I mean, Fort Lauderdale, you don't think of as being a typically problematic hood.
No. But in the 60s and 70s, if you were from the city, it was real rough. It was rough from the city. You had a lot of Jamaicans, a lot of Haitians in that area.
I guess there's always certain neighborhoods there.
Yes. Like Tatertown, Parkway, Regal Trace, different areas.
Tell me about your parents.
Well, my mom was alcoholic. She was alcoholic. And she never stayed home much. But my father was an old gangster out of Chicago. And he was a war veteran too. He came from the military. He loved their guns. He ran number houses, and that's why I learned my upbringing from him.
Hey, let me let you in on a secret real quick. This stuff right here is something that you want to add into.
How would you see what he did?
Well, I used to watch him all the time. I used to go with him a lot to gambling house. I used to rack balls when I was 7, 8 years old in the pool room, cigar pool room. I used to rack balls. And my dad was a pool shooter. He loved to shoot pool. He was 6'6". He was real tall. So he loved to shoot pool. So he'd always sneak in his car, follow him everywhere he went.
Yeah, but shooting pool and murdering people is a different story.
It was a different story, but it was in the same group.
Yeah, same kind of
people. You know, because my father also was a pimp. So being a pimp and a gambler, a person that shot pool, and a person that sold drugs, you know, so it was violence in that. So my father went to prison when I was young for murder.
How old were you?
I was about 6 years old. My father went to prison. I was 6.
And how would you describe your childhood in general?
Well, my childhood really came from when I was born until I was 8 years old. I stayed with my parents in Fort Lauderdale. But when I was 8
Listen, and this is Remo's Reactions TV. This is for educational and entertainment purposes. That's my disclaimer. But also, this is a brother that is telling you his story and telling you where he's at now, allegedly. But the question is, what's believable and what isn't?
Like, years old, an accident happened that sent me to an orphan home in New York. And I was put in an orphan home. Matter of fact, what happened was my grandfather used to always come to the side of the house and scare everybody. And I took the 12-gauge shotgun and I blowed his head off. I was 8 years old. And I was sent to Casdale, New York. And then where I met Mike Tyson at was in the same.
Yo, he said his grandpa used to come around there and scare everybody all the time. He had a 12-gauge shotgun. He came around scared and he blew his head off. He was 8 years old. Am I bugging or no? Hold up.
Off at home. But I blew his head off. I was 8 years old. An accident happened that sent me to an orphan home in New York. And I was put in an orphan home Matter of fact, what happened was my grandfather used to always come to the side of the house and scare everybody. And I took the 12 gauge shotgun and I blowed his head off. I was 8 years old, and I was sent to Castell, New York. And that's where I met Mike Tyson at. We was in the same orphan home. But he wasn't known as Iron Mike Tyson then. He was just where I used to pick on him because he taught it funny. We would call him names, and he would fight everybody. And later on in life, he became famous as Iron Mike Tyson.
So you murdered your grandfather?
I murdered my grandfather.
That was not your intention?
No, by accident. By accident. And I was sent away in the orphan home.
8 years old?
At 8 years old. And when I was in the orphan home, I used to be abused by older people there. There was an older lady named Miss Maddie. She used to beat everybody, beat us and lock us in the closet and stuff like that. Yeah. We pee the bed. She make it.
Now see, y'all heard that? He got sent to an orphan home after blowing his granddad head off, and then started getting abused inside the orphan home that they locked in closets. So that's not gonna make him any better. Yeah.
Stay in your pee, stuff like that. So my upbringing was tough.
Did you have other lines of work that you wanted to go into?
Oh yes, I wanted to always own my own company. I wanted to own my own plumbing company, own roofing company, and stuff like that.
See what he got to say, 4-5, man. Shout out to 4-5.
Who are you closer to, your mom or dad?
Well, I was closer to my father because he'd take me in the woods and shoot guns. I was young.
You were shooting guns at what age?
Age 5 and 6. I can load any gun. I can clean any gun. He used to beat me and teach me that. I can break a 45 down.
He said his dad would beat it. He said he can load any gun, clean any gun. He said his dad would beat him and teach him that. Am I bugging or no? Hold up. Reactions.
And stuff like that to help out.
Who are you closer to, your mom or dad?
Well, I was closer to my father because he'd take me in the woods and shoot guns. I was young.
You were shooting guns at what age?
Age 5 and 6. I can load any gun. I can clean any gun. He used to beat me and teach me that.
Beat me and teach me that. That's
cool. I can break a 45 down, put it back together in the dog. And I was just 5 years old.
And then you graduate high school?
No.
How far did you go?
I went to 5th grade.
5th grade?
5th grade, as far as education I ever had.
And you ended up doing what?
Well, when I went to New York, I was in an orphan home there for 2 years till I was 10 years old. Then I came back to Florida. I stayed in Jacksonville with my sister. And she was married to a dude named Dungans. He was the leader of the Jamaican posse. And they had a big drug ring. And I stayed up under him until I was 16. He used to take me everywhere with him. And they had a big killing spree. They just go around just killing people. He was the head of the Jamaican posse, shower posse, they called it.
And did that kind of lead you into a path where you're doing more of this kind of stuff?
Yeah, it led me in the wrong path. It led me to think that it was okay when it wasn't okay. It led me to misunderstand people in society. I was taught the wrong way. So I thought it was cool to kill people.
How many people you murdered, do you think?
Well, all together they said were 39.
39.
And what kind of people are you murdering?
Well, drug dealers.
Hold on, y'all. I gotta make sure I'm hearing this correctly.
Confidential informers.
Confidential informants.
Confidential informants.
So somebody has the courts or the police, whatever, have somebody who is going to inform on somebody they're trying to put away.
Yeah, somebody trying to testify against. They'll hire me to do the job to stop them.
To get rid of them.
To get rid of them, yes.
That's got to piss the judge and the cops off.
Yeah, that pissed them off. That's why they hate me. They didn't like me.
And how do you do it?
Well, first thing I do is money got to be first. They got to pay up half price first. I find a location where they at. And then went to protection program. There's people you can always find out inside jobs. There are people working in the courthouse, get information for clerks of the courts, people that you grew up with, people that's in your neighborhood, cricket polices, get in contact with, who I grew up with in middle school, stuff like that, out of my neighborhood. I get information from them kind of people. They'll point me in the right direction.
How old are you now?
Well, I'm 52 years old.
52. And you spent most of your life either in...
I went 29 years in prison. I went when I was 16. I was 47 when I got out. I was the youngest man in the state of Florida to go to Florida death row.
So you've been convicted of some of these murders?
I've been convicted of 6 murders.
6.
They sent me to Florida death row for 15 years on death row, 29 years in Florida prison. The Florida Supreme Court overturned my convictions.
And what kind of emotions do you go through now with these kind of this kind of history of yours?
Well, I changed my life. I gave my life to God, and I used to have nightmares and stuff like that. And I became a changed man.
So it did haunt you.
It haunted me every day of my life.
I can't imagine you can just do that kind of stuff and move on with your life like nothing happened.
It's hard to. When you're uneducated and when you come from a dysfunctional family and when you was raised wrong, you were taught wrong, when you thought that you were taught right, so you did wrong things. But as you grew in life and you bettered yourself and educated yourself, you began to do what is right. And that's what happened with me.
And you've been out for how long now?
I've been out now altogether 2 years.
2 years. And you're trying to take a different direction with your life?
Yes, sir. I'm a manager at U-Haul. Very productive.
With your criminal record, it's got to be hard to get.
It was hard to get, but when you change your life, people really understand you. They really understand you when you serious, make a change. But the federal government keep following me anywhere I go. They got put ankle monitors on, stuff like that. I still have one case left that they're trying to investigate and stuff like that. And
you might not realize that you could qualify for disability benefits. The program is designed for anyone who is...
And your father is around still, or is he gone?
My father passed.
Did you ever talk to him after you became you followed in his footsteps?
Well, my father always been my idol, my mentor all my life. And he would taught me wrong because his dad was a pimp. So his dad taught him wrong. And the pain that he had inside of him, he only passed that down to me. So I had to break that cycle to not pass that pain down to my kids.
What do you think the problem is with these kind of communities?
Well,
why does this happen?
Well, the problem is that when you come from a dysfunctional background, dysfunctional thinking, in Vietnam, see, my father came from Vietnam, and they was given heroin, they was given drugs, they were given addiction in the war. So when they left from the war, and the government didn't support them, they went on their own to create their own things. And there were a lot of them was doing. They were dealing with drugs. They were dealing with pimping. They were dealing with the street life. And that's all he knew because he came from a dysfunctional family. So the only thing my father was able to teach me is dysfunctional things, backwards things. But I have to break that cycle and not teach that to my kids.
How did you go about breaking that cycle?
Well, first thing I did, I knew I had to change my life. I found a good woman, and the communication was great. And I knew as I got older and got mature that what my father was teaching me and what I had learned. And plus, I did 15 years on death row, so I used to read constantly.
You had a lot of time to think.
I had a lot of time to think about my life and what life itself was.
How do you meet a good woman, given your background and your last 20 years of your life?
Believe it or not, I met at Snappers, and it totally changed my life. It totally changed my life.
She's a very special woman to...
Yeah, she gave me something to live for.
To hang in there with you.
Yeah. And I tell people about my testimony. My testimony from death row to the front. I'm also a pastor at a church, and God is amazing what He does. He's amazing when you truly want to change yourself. When you want to change, change comes. You do the right things. People, places, things. You changes. And I feed the homeless. I give back to the community. A lot of people, family, fathers that I killed. I communicate with the kids.
Really?
Yeah, I communicate with 3 of them, and I got to give back to them.
Did you ever escape with drugs or alcohol or anything like that?
Well, I never was addicted to drugs, alcohol, nothing like that. But my mom and my father was, and I was around it for years. But I became a drug dealer. I sold plenty of drugs all around the world. All around the world.
And so you go by the name 4-5.
That's what that name came from. Duckus in Jamaica 51. They was the leader of the shower posse. And at a very young age, from 10, 11, I could shoot so good with a 45. He said, you know what, that's your name. You shoot too good. We'd go out in the field and shoot bottles and stuff. So they said, that's the only gun I ever committed a crime with. That's the only gun I ever killed people with.
How would you go about killing people?
Well, first of all, got to be the right price. They pay the right ticket. Well, they got underground black markets numbers that you can call, and they'll tell you it's a ticket in your area. And they'll say, where's a ticket in Miami? And I said, well, I want 2 of them tickets. And they'll tell me the price of the tickets, and then I know the name of the individuals, and then I just act like a normal person in the neighborhood, and they don't know me. I get a girl from somewhere that they don't even know, and I set them up with a girl. And I had a girl that like she liked them, and she don't even know them. He don't know her. And when we get back to the motel, I follow him. I kill both of them. I kill the girl too. That was just part of life then.
And how do you do it?
Well, I was trained to just shoot him in the head. 3 shots in the head. So anybody I was ever accused of killing, that became my trademark. So it's a state attorney seen anybody shot 3 times behind the ear with a 45, they was coming to get me. They didn't care. So I won 9 murder trials in Broward County alone, 3 in Jacksonville, and 2 in New York.
So you've been convicted how many times?
I've been convicted 1 time. That I was 16, that sent me to death row. But since I've been away from death row, soon I got out, I caught another murder case. I stayed in county jail 4 years fighting the Johnny Ross murder case. That's one of the biggest murder cases it was. He was a big communist informer against minor police, riverboat cops, the minor police department. He was telling on crooked police.
So the crooked police were...
I was paid by a drug...
Who hired you?
A police officer and a drug dealer hired me to kill Johnny Ross.
Really?
That was 2016. That was the last murder case.
You got a movie here.
Maybe.
Do you love boating? Well, Freedom Boat Club makes boating easier than ever. At Freedom Boat Club.
Alright, about to end this thing, yo.
Emotionally, how did this affect you?
Well, mostly at night, sometimes I can't sleep. I toss and turn a lot.
Still?
I hear the voices of the people, like especially the Johnny Ross case, because I knew him personally. He the only guy that I ever was accused of killing that I knew personally. I knew him personally. And
That's got to be hard.
And when I took the detective out of the car and got in the car, he said, man, please don't kill me. I said, this is what I get paid for. You know that.
So he knows you're going to kill him.
And I shot him 3 times behind the ear. Yeah, he knew that. When I got in the car, he was going to the courthouse. They having 1 block from Broward.
Listen,
Broward
we
County.
ain't promoting violence or nothing. This is just for educational purposes. To the youth out there, this is a learning lesson, man. Like, listen to this man's story.
The courthouse. 8 o'clock in the morning, coming from winter protection program. I stayed 3 nights, stepping in the field, down the street for 3 nights, watching. And the only time I was able to get to him when the detective was taking him. But the detective was a fat dude that was out of shape, and I draw the gun on him first. I took his gun, and I threw him out the car. I can talk about it now because I won a trial. Can't nobody retry me on it. The feds can't retry me on it.
How do you win so many of your cases?
Well, I look at it now and think that was my calling for God. And that's why I changed my life.
God and a good lawyer.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I had a good lawyer, Christopher.
Like, chill. This man caught over 39 bodies and he got like now he calling on the guy like, oh no, y'all tell me get
I
down
just
and
that
tell
I flew him
me.
down here to Florida. Christopher Clark, he won altogether 12 murder cases for me.
He won 12 cases?
12 murder cases altogether.
How did he win 12 cases for?
Well, not guessing.
I guess so.
Yeah. See, a murder case is a harder case to convict because there can't be no speculation. You got to have solid facts.
No doubt.
I was never on camera. Can't be no doubts. I was never video. No, all the eyewitnesses came up dead. So
after you would do the deed, whether you went into somebody's apartment, car, whatever, do you just walk away or do you run away? Or
I walk away normally. Get in the car and just go about my business.
So somebody walking their dog down the street wouldn't suspect you of doing anything?
Nah, just be casual. Just be casual, walk casual, act normal. And that was it.
You got a story or two? I'm sure you do.
Well,
some of these murders?
Yeah.
Tell me one.
Well, I want people to be able to hear my story because to know how did I get to that point. Coming from dysfunctional family, dysfunctional background, being abused as a child, and it taught me wrong. It caused me to do a lot of wrong things in life. And a lot of parents need to understand that their granddaddy and their fathers got that hurt and that pain in them, and they pass it down to their kids. And that affected my life. I could have been an NFL player. I could have been a basketball player. I could have been anything other than being a hired hitman. You know, there's a lot of talent that been wasted in situations like that.
But of some of the murders that you've committed, tell me a story or two of how it went down.
Johnny Bean, there's a dude named Johnny Bean in Jacksonville. He stayed on the top floor, hilltop projects, and everybody was scared of him. He used to beat everybody with a bat. He was originally from Miami, but he was getting money in Jacksonville, and everybody was scared of Johnny Bean. And I told this girl, I said, you know what, I'm going to kill Johnny Bean.
What was Johnny Bean into?
Johnny Bean was into drugs. He was a big drug dealer. He was selling drugs a lot. He was into beating women. I watched my father beat my mom, and I hated guys that beat women. And he beat this girl up that I was messing with. And I told that girl, I said, you know what, tomorrow when I come over there, I'm going to blow Johnny Bean's head off. And she thought I was lying. She said, you so small. I used to be real small. You so small. You so big. I said, I promise you that. And I had to go to the 9th floor. And I walked by these 30 guys that had guns. And I walked up there and blew his brains out. And threw him off the 9th floor over the rail. And walked back down by his homeboys there. And got in the car with my friend and left. And everybody just looking around like, wow. Because they was scared of him. But I never had fear. My father used to beat me with extension cords and I wouldn't cry. And I wouldn't cry.
You never had fear? I
never had fear in my life. Never. I never had fear. I was born with a hole in my heart. And the doctor told my mom that I wouldn't live long. And I've always been a child that never cried. I get whoopings, I never cry. Dudes to jump on me sometimes, I get in fights, I never cry. I never shed a tear.
Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling. Do you find you're developing?
This is very interesting and it's educational, man. And to the youth, please, if y'all, I don't know how many people watch these videos that I be putting up, but to the young ones that's out here, use this as an example on, learning from the OG. Like taking the gems that he giving y'all.
Those abilities now that your life is taking a new direction?
Oh, yes. I never would believe I'd be a manager. And you all, they gave me another great opportunity today to be a supervisor. I'm a motivated speaker. I go back to jails. I go to prison to talk to guys and stuff. I'm a deacon and a pastor in the church. And my life just been wonderful now. It's been wonderful.
That's great. And do you do like public speaking or anything like that?
Yes, I do public speaking. I speak all the time. I feed the homeless. I give back to the community. Three
Right or
guys
wrong.
who I mentored to was accused of killing their fathers. And they call me and text me all the time. And there's no bad blood no more. That's how life was, how the game was. When you choose to be into that drug game.
What do you think the answer is for healing? Like
what the answer for healing is breaking the cycle. Us as men have to break that cycle of being that pain and that anger inside of us so we don't pass it on to our children. And we got to replace that with love. And love comes from God.
Do you have kids?
I don't have no kids. I have stepkids.
Kids? You gotta relax.
After you murder somebody, do you just go out and have a beer, or do you like?
Normal life. It's normal for me to do. I was trained to do it.
Yo, listen, hold up. This is not even fucking funny, but yo. Yo, this man said, yo, hold the fuck up, man. Like, yo, are you serious right now? In the chat, yo, get down to the fucking comments. Yo, am I bugging, or did he just ask this man? So, hold up.
To the community. Three guys who I mentored to.
Yeah, he went from asking him about what he do, how he changed his life, to what do you do after
was
you
accused of killing their fathers. And they call me and text me all the time. And there's no bad blood no more. That's how life was, how the game was.
Daddies.
When you choose to be into that drug game.
What do you think the answer is for healing?
Listen
like what the answer for healing is breaking the cycle. Us as men have to break that cycle of being that pain and that anger inside of us so we don't pass it on to our children. And we got to replace that with love. And love comes from God.
Do you have kids?
I don't have no kids. I have stepkids.